student, we are going to learn our first lesson, sources of history. We have studied the sources of ancient and medieval Indian history. This year we are going to study the sources of modern Indian history. Historical sources include material, written and oral sources. In last year, means in 6th standard and in 7th standard, you have studied about the ancient and medieval Indian history, and this year you are going to learn the modern Indian history. There are many sources, and in that sources it include material sources, written sources and oral sources, which can help us to understand, to study the modern period of history. Similarly, sources based on modern technology such as audio, video and audio-visual are included. And instead of material, written and oral sources, there are some other sources such as modern technology, just as audio-video sources and audio-visual sources. The first are material sources. Various objects, monuments, places, coins, sculptures, etc. can be included in the material sources of history. Which sources that we called as material sources? Among the material sources, it includes just as monuments, places, coins, sculptures, etc. Buildings and places. The period of modern Indian history is believed as period of European, especially the British rulers and governors of princely state. The period of modern history is believed as the period of Europeans, and especially the British rulers and governors of princely states. In this period, various buildings, bridges, roads, water supply system, fountains, etc. were built. And in this period, many buildings, different types of buildings, bridges, as well as roads, water supply system, fountains were built by the Europeans. These buildings include government officers, residences of officers, leaders and revolutionaries. And among the buildings, there are government offices, residences of the officers, leaders and revolutionaries too. Palaces of rulers of princely states, forts, prisons, etc. It also includes the palaces of the princely states, then forts and prisons too. Among these monuments, many buildings are intact even today. And among these monuments, many buildings are able to find today. Some are declared as national monuments, and some of the buildings are declared as national monuments, whereas some are converted into museum and some of buildings are converted into museums. For example, cellular jail in Andaman, and the building which is converted into museum, the example of it is cellular jail in Andaman. While visiting these sites, we get information about contemporary history, and when we visit these sites, we get information about contemporary history, architecture, nature of the monument and also the economic condition of that particular period. And instead of that, we also get information about architecture, what was the nature of the monuments and the economic condition of that particular period. Just as during the visit to cellular jail in Andaman, we get information about the revolutionary work of V.D. Savarkar. When we visit the cellular jail in Andaman, with that visit, we also get information about the revolutionary work of V.D. Savarkar. By visiting Mani Bhavan in Mumbai or Sevagram Ashram at Wardha, we get information about the history of Gandhi era. And by visiting Mani Bhavan in Mumbai or Sevagram Ashram in Wardha, we get the information about the Gandhi era, means what work was done by Gandhiji to free our India from the Britishers. Now we are going to learn these lessons some part on the digital board. Listen carefully.
Sources of history. Introduction. Hello students. Today we are visiting one of the famous museums named Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Vastu Sangrahalaya, also called as the Prince of Wales Museum, located in Mumbai. This museum is the main museum in Mumbai. It has approximately 50,000 artifacts of ancient Indian history, which are characterized into different galleries like the art section, the archaeological section, natural history, etc. Thus, we get a lot of knowledge about various historical sources by visiting this and many such museums. Now you must be thinking, what does historical sources include? Well, it includes material, written and oral sources. In the earlier grade, we have already studied about various sources of ancient and medieval Indian history. For example, ancient sources like the Harappan seals and sculptures, Ashoka pillar, remains of Taxila University, etc.
Here you are seeing some pictures related to ancient sources of history. Among these sources there are some Harappan seals are given, then some sculptures of Harappan period are given, then Ashoka stamp and some
and medieval sources like the Qutub Minar, the Taj Mahal, which is regarded as one of the 7 wonders, Shaniwar.
Then in medieval sources you are seeing the sources just as Qutub Minar, Taj Mahal and Shaniwar Wada. These pictures are given here as a medieval sources.
Arwada, etc. are a great source of information to us. In this chapter, we will be studying the sources of modern Indian history, which includes these 3 sources along with the sources based on modern technology.
Now in this lesson we are going to learn about the modern Indian history and which sources are useful for us to learn about the modern Indian history. And among that sources, the first source is material sources, second is written sources and thirds are oral sources. And instead of that there are some modern technological sources are also available to study us the modern Indian history.
Now you must be wondering, what does modern technological sources include? Well, it includes audio, video and audiovisual sources. Let us study each of these sources.
And in modern technological sources, it include audio, video and audiovisual sources.
Sources in detail. Material sources. What are material sources? Material sources of history are the remains of the past in the form of various monuments, places, coins, sculptures and objects, etc. Buildings and places The period of British rule and the period of governance of princely states is known as the period of modern Indian history. It was during the modern Indian period that many buildings, bridges, fountains, roads, etc. had been constructed. We find many government offices, residences of officers, palaces of the rulers of the princely states, forts, prisons, etc., which are intact even today. Some are declared as national monument, whereas some are converted into museum. One such example is of the cellular jail in Andaman. When we visit
Here you are seeing the pictures of the cellular jail in Andaman, and this cellular jail of Andaman is converted into museum.
Visit these places, we get many information about contemporary history, architecture, nature of the monument, and also the economic condition of that particular period.
By visiting such what is the use of material sources? Material sources help us to know about the contemporary history of that period. What architecture was done in that period, nature of the monument, and also the economic condition of that particular period.
When we visit the Cellular Jail Museum, we get information about the revolt of 1857, or as said by V.D. Savarkar, the first war of independence. Similarly, by visiting Mani Bhavan in Mumbai and Sevagram Ashram at Wardha Aga Khan Palace in Pune, we get information about the history of the Gandhian era. Museums and history. There are many objects, paintings, photographs, and such other things in a museum.
Here you are seeing some coins, some pictures, some photographs. When we visit museums, we get information about, by seeing these pictures, we get information about that particular periods.
Material sources are very helpful for researchers of history. For example, the Aga Khan Palace, which is situated in Pune, Maharashtra, and constructed by Sultan Muhammad Shah Aga Khan III. This palace has a number of photos and portraits depicting glimpses from the life of Mahatma Gandhi. Statues and memorials. Many statues and memorials had been erected during the pre-independence and post-independence, which serves as a great source of information. We get some brief information about the concerned personality by reading the displayed plaque of the statues. For example, the statue of Mahatma Gandhi behind me is the tallest bronze statue in the world. This statue is located at Gandhi Maidan, Patna, Bihar. It is 72 feet, that is 22 meter high. It was sculpted by Ram Sutar. The statue shows Gandhi standing affectionately with two children. The base on which the statue stands is 24 feet high. It depicts 4 significant events in the life of Gandhi. That is, the Dandi March, 1930, Quit India Movement, 1942, Champaran Satyagraha, 1917, and the Charkha, the symbol of Gandhi, which is inscribed in large letters.
Here you saw a statue of Mahatma Gandhi. In this statue, the statue indicates 4 major events which took place in Mahatma Gandhi's life. Means the Dandi March in 1930, Quit India Movement in 1942, then Dandi Satyagraha, and also Charkha, which is very important in Mahatma Gandhi's life.
Do you know what does a memorial mean? Memorials are erected in the memory of various events. Memorials are structures which give information about the concerned event, period, people related to the event, etc. For example, the Jallianwala Bagh massacre reminds us of the breathtaking massacre in Amritsar at a place named Jallianwala Bagh by the Britishers on 13th April 1919 under the command of General Reginald Dyer. The place still has the bullet marks on the wall. Written sources. Written sources of modern Indian history.
Do you know museums and history? For the study of history, various objects, paintings, photographs and such other things are preserved in a museum. For the study of history, various objects just as paintings, photographs and other things are preserved in museum to make us the study of history easy. At the Aga Khan Palace in Pune, we can see different objects, documents giving information about the life of Mahatma Gandhi. In Aga Khan Palace in Pune, we can see different objects, then documents which gave us information about the life of Mahatma Gandhi. Statues and memorials. During the pre-independence and post-independence period, memorials of many personalities were erected in the form of statues. Before independence and after independence, many memorial statues were erected of different personalities. These statues are also important for the study of modern Indian history. These statues are also useful. These statues also gave us a lot of information about the modern Indian history. The various statues provide information about the contemporary rulers. Various statues provide us information about the contemporary rulers and eminent personalities as well as eminent personalities. The display plaque on the statues gives us information about the full name of the concerned person. The display plaque on the statues gives us information about the full name of the person, about his birth and about his death details. Brief information about their contribution and the biographical sketch of the person. It also gives us information about their contribution to free India from the British rulers and about the biographical sketch of their personality. Just as the statues of Mahatma Jyotirao Phule, Lokmanya Tilak, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, these are memorials which are erected in the memory of various events which give information about the concerned event, period, people related to the event, etc. For example, Hutatma Smarak at various places. Many statues just as Jyotirao Phule's statue, Lokmanya Tilak, then Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. These memorials erected the memories of various events which took place in their lives. This gives us information about the concerned event, about that period and about also the people which are related to that event. For example, Hutatma Smarak at various places. Now we have finished some material sources which gives us information about modern period of history, modern Indian history. In our next period, we will learn about written sources and oral sources. Thank you.